We'll move on to sleepers. It's something we all love talking about. Mike, I'll throw this one to you to start. Who's your sleeper pick in this year's draft?
Well, in general, I think you can get a lot of value with guys that have slipped down the draft boards due to injury last season. Victor Cruz is one guy that I'm targeting in my drafts. For starters, he was one of Eli Manning's favorite targets in 2011, 2012, slowed by injuries subsequent to that. Yeah. But this is a guy who has a lot of speed. He has game-breaking qualities to his game. The coverages are going to be focused on Odell Beckham this year.
They will.
Could see a lot of zones, a lot of pockets underneath for Cruz to exploit, and then use yards after the catch to get to the end zone.
The only concern the owners should monitor is injury progress throughout the preseason, obviously.
Keep an eye on the health.
Keep an eye on the health. Des, I'll come back to you on this. Who's your sleeper for this season?
I'm going to pick a guy very familiar to Washington fans, and Roy Helu. Right? He went to Oakland this year. I love his situation. He's got a locked-in role as the passing down back.
Another guy ahead of Trent Richardson on the depth chart.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the reasons to like him. He's really only behind Latavius Murray, who's an unknown quantity. He has nothing to worry about from Trent Richardson or anybody else. He is the passing down back on a team that's probably going to be behind a lot in games, and he could take over the featured role. I mean, we don't know what we're going to get from Latavius Murray. He's kind of a wild card.
Yeah, Roy Helu had some moments in the Redskins where we thought this guy could be a really viable third down back if you give him more chances.
His efficiency is amazing. He averages a ton of yards per catch and carry. Like, I love his talent.
Neil, who do you have as a sleeper pick this year?
The Saints tight end Josh Hill is going to take over for Jimmy Graham. He's being drafted in the 11th round, but he had 20 targets last year, caught 5 touchdowns. You know, he's a guy that could get all those targets that Jimmy Graham was getting. And Sean Payton's offense have always featured tight ends. They just happen to be concentrated in Graham. But even before Graham was there, he spread the offense around. So I really like Josh Hill in the 11th round.
Yeah, well, we know what Drew Brees has done with, obviously you mentioned Jimmy Graham, so he's going to have to find someone to replace him. It seems like almost a no-brainer. You're going to get him late in drafts. I'm taking for my sleeper pick Martavis Bryant. I love this guy last year. He's 6'4". He's a red zone threat. He's 211 pounds. All the coverage is rolling to Antonio Brown. You know that. Like, Le'Veon Bell doesn't get a ton of attention. You know Ben Roethlisberger is going to want to pump it down the field. In the red zone, this guy certainly should be the #1 target. I mean, he had played 10 games last year, 8 touchdowns. That's efficient. Had, 550 yards. This guy looks like he could be a poor man's version of Calvin Johnson, and I'll take that if I can get him in the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th round. So
he's got to win a starting job.
I think he'll be okay there, Des. But that's what the preseason's for, to monitor that kind of stuff, right?